So our Airbnb guest got here and canceled within 5 minutes and just left because she saw this.
I don't really understand why you're acting confused on why she left. You don't think she felt a little bit unsafe maybe staying at an Airbnb with a Trump sign displayed? That would make me feel unsafe. A Trump sign is not just about a political preference, it's more like a hostile symbol representing misogyny, homophobia, racism. And having that sign displayed at your Airbnb is basically saying, hey there, I support a man who brags about assaulting women and encouraging violence. And so when a woman books an Airbnb and sees that, especially if she's alone, she's not thinking about politics. She's thinking if she'll be safe if something goes wrong. Does the host believe in consent? Or if I have the right to make my own choices about my own body medically? And if the person doesn't believe in any of those things, how could they possibly be a safe host? And if it was any person of color or a member of the LGBTQ community, a Trump sign is basically saying you're not welcome here. So showing that you are loudly aligning yourself with a man that has mocked and threatened and literally raped women naturally would make someone afraid or nervous about staying there. And it's not really hard to understand that you're just not a safe space. And by the way, what is with the sign anyway? The election is long over. It's weird.
Hey, Auntie Bev here. The vocabulary word is repercussion. It's a noun. A repercussion is an unintended consequence as the result of an event or action. Now, the woman with the Airbnb didn't think there would be any repercussion when she hung her Trump Vance sign on her Airbnb property.
And the thing is, you were trying to be petty. She has then deleted the comment and uploaded a new TikTok saying that she was going to remove the sign. At this point, keep the fucking sign. Like, we all know you're a Trump supporter. Keep the sign. You want cool. That is, as an American, that was your choice. My thing is, we want to know who you voted for so that we don't spend our fucking money there. Okay? I can guarantee you a lot of people will not be spending their money anywhere where they know that a Trump supporter voted for Trump, because why would we? Why would we want to? And then there are people in the comments that's like, it's not that serious. It's not that serious. For me, porque soy mexicana, it is that fuck serious. And it has always been that fuck serious. For the people who are like, it's not that serious. It's just an Airbnb. Y'all are messing with her money. Do you not understand families are literally being ripped apart?
So I own an Airbnb that has this farm theme to it. And while my wife and I were down in Mexico a couple years ago, there was this guy selling skulls from bulls. So like the skeleton head of bulls. And we thought it'd be cool to hang it up in the house. But then once we got it back home, we changed our minds. Because I was worried that we might offend a vegan. Now it sucks, but if you're an Airbnb host, you need to stay away from controversial items, especially politics. Now I am a full supporter of capitalism, and I'm sure it's not difficult to figure out who I voted for. But it's super important to separate your business from your personal convictions. Because ultimately, like what happened in this video, it can be very damaging for your business. Especially on Airbnb, multiple bad reviews from guests can shut you down. But what do you guys think? Should this host take down their Trump sign? Should they just leave it up and not care? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
Based, queen. Okay? For one, you run an Airbnb. Anyone could be walking through that door, coming through that driveway, and you thought it was appropriate to leave that sign up. I am glad you're losing business as a result of that, because regardless of your politics, that's just dumb business. Number two, conservatives are really weird because they put themselves in this position where we can always just turn things back on them and be like, well, the fuck? You guys boycott every single piece of literature. You guys boycott every single movie where someone has a race that you do not like. You guys boycotted Target for the longest time because you could not comprehend that they put a rainbow on a goddamn shirt. You guys boycott to the ends of the earth. You guys boycotted so bad that big stores decided to just start rolling back DEI programs because they were so scared of losing your guys' money. And then you get mad because of a woman who comes to your Airbnb and is like, ew, fuck that, and leaves. She says, I'm a boycott. Bye, bitch. Anyways, my name is Mercedes Chandler. Give me a follow or you want to see my face again. Thank you. Goodbye.
Guys, imagine arriving at your Airbnb, luggage in hand, ready to relax and, to relax after hours of travel. But within 5 minutes, you are packing back up, walking away and canceling your stay, not because the house was dirty, not because it didn't match, the photos, but because of a political banner hanging outside. That's exactly what happened when a guest pulled up to a short-term rental, saw a huge Trump Vance 2024 sign and instantly decided, nope, I'm not staying here. The story has exploded online. because it's about more than just politics. It's about safety, principle, and boundaries. The host posted about the cancellation expecting sympathy, but instead the internet rallied up around the guest, praising them for prioritizing comfort and values over convenience. Today we are diving into what this incident really tells us about political expression, safety in travel, and the cost of crossing boundaries in hospitality. Guys, what's fascinating here is the complete disconnect between the host and the guest. For the guests, and for many who commented online, that Trump Vance 2024 banner wasn't just a political sign, it was a warning signal. To them, it screamed, "You are not safe here. You are not welcome here." One guest even explained that the sign made them feel like the host obviously didn't, give an F about people that look like them. That's not just discomfort. That's fear rooted in lived experience. Commentators supported the cancellation, saying things like "stand on business," meaning don't give your money to someone whose values you find harmful. Others described the banner as hate sign, not just a campaign slogan. Meanwhile, the host was genuinely shocked. They thought the house was beautiful, cozy, and welcoming. They expected people to attack the guest for overreacting. Instead, the internet, lit them up, reminding them that freedom of expression doesn't mean freedom from, consequence, especially in the business of hospitality. Now, let's break this down deeper, because this incident highlights a powerful clash between personal freedom and professional responsibility. Now, on one hand, the host absolutely has the right to display a political sign on their property. That is their freedom of expression. But here's the reality. When you step into the role of a host, especially in short-term rentals, you are no longer just a private citizen. You are running a business. And in the business, especially in hospitality, there are unwritten rules. Keep it neutral, avoid politics, avoid religion, and make every guest feel comfortable. That's the crux of this story. The guest didn't cancel because they hated the color of the walls or because the Wi-Fi was weak. They canceled because the sign represented something deeper and more personal. For them, it was about principle. It was about not funding, even indirectly, values they found harmful, and that's what struck such a nerve online. Commentators overwhelmingly sided with the guest because they recognized the reality. Political symbols are not harmless. For many people, seeing a Trump Vance 2024 banner isn't seeing a cock ad or a football team's flag. It's a reminder of policies that have directly harmed their communities. Immigration bans, family separation, civil rights rollbacks. These are not abstract political debates. They are lived experiences. So when that guest cancelled within 5 minutes, they weren't being dramatic. They were protecting their peace. They were saying, my vacation is supposed to be a safe escape, not a partisan battlefield. And the internet agreed. The financial consequence for the host are real. Not only did they lose that booking, but they may also lose future guests. Once word spreads and once a property becomes known for political messaging, it effectively turns into a guest filter. So some will only, book if they agree with your politics, but many others will stay far away. And if you are trying to run a successful rental, that filter is poison to your bottom line. The reputational hit is even worse. When the host posted their complaint video expecting support, they received the total opposite. Instead of sympathy, commentators call them ignorant, divisive, and even dangerous. They said you know exactly why that guest left. The backlash painted the host not as a victim, but as someone completely out of touch with the social climate. This brings us to the larger lesson. Hosting is about creating a space where guests feel safe. That safety is not just physical, clean locks, fire alarms, lighting. It's also emotional and psychological. A political sign that is perceived as hostile destroys that safety instantly. Here's what's striking. The guest emphasized it wasn't about the money. They were willing to lose funds just to live. That tells you how serious this perception of safety is. People don't give up their hard-earned money easily. If someone cancels within 5 minutes, they're saying no amount of comfort, no amount of money is worth compromising my principles or peace of mind. That is why the internet sided with the guest, because it's not about politics, it's about respect and boundaries. So, what can we learn? If you are a host, understand this. You can express your political beliefs, but when you do it in a business space, you are making a choice. And choices have consequences. If you display divisive signs, you may win applause from people who agree with you, but you will lose businesses, damage your reputation, and possibly even make guests feel unsafe. And if you're a guest, this story is empowering. It reminds us that we do have the right to vote with our wallets. We don't have to support people or businesses that make us feel unsafe. Walking away is not just a cancellation, it's accountability. At the end of the day, this incident isn't about one host or one guest. It's about the larger truth that in today's divide, climate neutrality matters in hospitality. Guests don't book Airbnbs to walk into partisan landmines. They book to rest, recharge, and feel at home. And if a single sign shatters that feeling, then the host has already failed at the most important part of the job, making people feel unsafe. Guys, drop a comment. Let me know. What are your thoughts? Also, remember to subscribe, like, and share as well. And until next time, bye-bye.